The river is still quite high after a long few weeks of rain, and this beautiful old mill is about to come down after a single sad evening of devastating fire. Good morning, afternoon, evening or night, whenever you're watching this, welcome. Today I'm going to a spot I've been to many times before, hopefully not too many times for this video to still be enjoyable, but every time the river rises to near flood levels, it replenishes the little beach with things ranging in age from the modern all the way back to the Carboniferous period. Without fail, it catches some good things for me to find. The river's still covering some of the pebble beaches that appear about here. They rarely catch anything good to find though, so it's no great loss for today. Grey heron, one of the biggest birds around here, with a wingspan of up to 1.95 meters. My camera is not built to capture this. Looks like the riverside path is currently largely in the river. Thankfully, the flattened mugwort pasture is passable as a path. Just heading up to the bridge to scope out the access first, and of course look at the scenery. Even on a dreary and grey day, it's still quite a pretty place. It's certainly still higher than usual, not ideal. The spillway on the left usually has a clear bit all the way down to the beach, but I think today we're going to have to go round the back way. Made it, and it only required a minor trespass transgression. And let's see what the first find of the day is. A vulcanized rubber bottle stopper. B for bar. Some B-grade blue and white, nice and clear but quite a modern, probably English pattern. Bit of nice aqua-coloured river glass. A piece of textured tile with a hint of gilt left on top of the glaze. Nice bit of pattern. Ooh, a figurine. Looks to be a man in Georgian fashion, arrogantly leaning against a tree. As is common with such things, he's lost his arms and head. I'm not sure if I can do anything with it. It might be too small and too broken for my crafting skills to make anything out of. But I'll take it anyway. You never know. There's always good river glass here, and pipe stems. Now what's that? Oh, shame. That is an interesting shaped bottle top. Not sure what it could be from. Oh well. Bit of a stoneware inkwell, a lot too small of a bit to be taken as a bottle. And a timer switch, probably for an electric heater. I'll take this, for the brass and copper in it. Another bit of clay pipe with a little bit of a heel. Piece of an old lock. Not so very old, my front door has something very similar. Less rusty, more complete, but similar. I shall take it for the brass. This looks curious. A bit of copper wire sticking through what I guess must be a worn down block of cement. Quite pretty is what it's become. Little bottle. Sadly a little chipped. A lot worse for the wear it's been through, but first bottle of the day and all that. Vienna, 1870 something. Award-winning Dundee marmalade jar. Oh, a bit of picture. Kinda looks a bit like an Edward Gorey etching, but probably predates most of his work. Blurry blue bleeding into the white. Little piece of driftwood. I'm sad to know that the large and beautiful driftwood logs that were here last time have drifted away, and though this has some aesthetic appeal, I don't think I have a use for it. Nor do I have a real use for clay pipe stems, but I do at least have space for them while I wait for ideas for what to do with them. Quite a lot of goose poo on the beach today, and noodles. Smells like chow mein. Hopefully there's not too much of interest sitting underneath it all. Bit of pipe stem in the grip of a noodle. Let go, noodle. Let go. Plenty more pipe stem on the beach. Nice bit of pattern. Some greenish glaze. Nope. Too indistinct to know what it was. Free of noodles. I'll take it. Door handle. Aluminium. That's aluminum for American ears. Nicely pitted, but destined to be melted down, I think. What's that? Ooh, I think it's part of a Victorian eye bath. I found the bath part before. Now I found the stem. I just need to find a base of one now. Or an intact one. Part of a wine bottle. I think it's quite old, but I'm very much a beginner at this. Can anyone give me a rough age of it? What next? Bit of plaster, I think, from how it feels. Ooh, marble. Looks like a cod bottle one, and let's see. No. The sky is not really cliché Instagram photo ready today. Oh well, onwards with the search. Ooh, another marble. This is the part of the beach where I've found marbles before. Top of the beach for bone and wood, middle bit for marbles and glass, bottom for metalwork. Unless it's aluminium, which is light and gets everywhere. Oh, wow. A heron. Missing its head, unfortunately, but I'm happy with this nonetheless. I might try to restore it somehow. Its head might be helpful in that if I can find it. A more complete piece of a marmalade pot, this one clearly winning the 1873 Medal of Merit in Vienna. Pipe bowl, a little bit of fluting on this side, but most of it has been worn away, no visible maker's mark. Nah. Do shout out if you see anything good. Not that I can hear you, of course, but it all adds to my experience thinking that you might. Nice river glass. Curious looking thing. A handle. Probably off a saucepan. I think it's plastic, so I will take it, but no use for it, so to the bin it goes. Bit of bone for my friend's projects. Oh, that looks cool. There's a stone with another stone inside. Looks to be a mudstone, so not particularly unusual, but I like it, and I shall take it. I can't quite believe this, so some of you will no doubt doubt it too, but just 10 feet from where I found the body, and still on the surface, lies the heron's head. It looks from the oxidation on the brick that they separated quite some time ago, so for them to both end up on the same beach is somewhat unlikely, and for them to do so at the same time is more unlikely again, and then to be found more so still. Needless to say, I'm taking it. A little bit of brass attached to something wooden. Looks like the collar, perhaps, of a tool. Nice textured river glass. Ooh, I see something. Planting away. Got it. A little pocket knife. Looks old and, well, obviously rusted beyond any chance of it being used again. A bit of river glass with some embossed lettering on. Can't make them out here and now. Little piece of glass slab by the looks of it. Yay, blackberries, and one of them looks ripe. Yes, my mouth approves. I can see two interesting things. That looks... I think the handle was shaped strangely before the rust aggregation thing happened, so maybe a very old screwdriver. That's the only thing I can think of with handles shaped like this. Anyone have any other ideas? And the other thing, I know exactly what this is. It's a very distinctive shape of brass, and it's the pommel of a bayonet. I'm not an expert on bayonets though, so I really have no idea which bayonet it's come from, or which war it might have been used in. Can anyone tell me? It is an interesting find, but I don't find it particularly exciting, because this was first and foremost something made specifically to kill human beings, and it might have done so. Sure, it was for use in self-defense, but I'm still not all that into war. Anyway, I'll take it, and on with the search. That's curious. A stick with brass on the end. Oh, and iron beyond the brass. No surprise that this would be quite close to the other brass and wood thing, but what is it? A fire poker perhaps? A very old longbow arrow? Anyone have any ideas? Now let's see. No, nothing for me underneath. A vulcanized rubber stopper, bit of a poor state, and anyway, I was on my way to check out this interesting piece of ironwork. Oh, okay, looks like it might be a spring, perhaps a suspension spring off a carriage. Well, if it is one of those, it's at least half buried, and possibly entwined with tree roots. This is interesting too. No idea what it was exactly, but it's big, heavy, and not as appealing as a possible carriage spring. What's that? Looks like antler. Moves enough. I am going to get it out. Got some digging to do. So the possible carriage spring is deeply buried and firmly held, and I probably have to kill this little tree to get it out. So enigmatic and aesthetically pleasing though it may be, I think I'm going to have to leave it. I got the antler thing out, not sure what it is yet, but it's not antler. Glass bottle stopper. I always enjoy finding these. No branding on it, but no matter. I still like it. Oh, that looks carved or shaped. I think they're definitely chisel marks. Is it a part of an old drainage channel? From a farmyard or similar. Old for sure, but I'm not certain I know what it was. Any ideas? And is it light enough to take? Maybe. I do have about 3 miles to carry it though. Oh, fossil bits of leaf and maybe wood in a sandstone matrix. An unusual find in these parts. I might have to take that too. Line-ridged river glass, taking it for possible projects. Oh, wow. Shy little crayfish resting on the bank. I won't chase it. Unusual glass stem. Bit of pink glaze left on this bit. But a strange angle, not 90 degrees by any means, so probably from an art glass something rather than from something practical. Skateboard wheels. I kinda hope it's not come off a threadbare little thing I filmed last time I was here. It would be sad if that's finally been broken apart. Pipe stem, yay. And another piece. And brick. Wilkinson, Elland. Still made bricks during my lifetime, but not for a while. Gone now. Oh, now that is interesting. Not much English pottery has an ancient Egyptian anchor hieroglyphic symbol on it. A symbol for life. Tiny bit of copper wire. I love geese. So I grabbed this out of a bush, not knowing what it was, and it's almost certainly a Whittle-Tang antler handle. The last one of these I found it probably less than 6 foot from this one, and it was catalogued by the Potable Antiquities Scheme. They estimated its age as somewhere between medieval and fairly modern. This one looks cruder, and like it's come from a time when there were few options available, and even the pointy bits of the antler got used. It makes me think that this could be towards the older end of the range. I could of course be quite wrong. I often am. Anyway, back to earth and a piece of pipe stem. Looks like the rim of an old drinks bottle, possibly a very worn cod bottle top, and a glass bottle stopper. Lovely wildflowers, I'm sure someone can tell me what they are. And down is it's a quite eaten fungus which I also can't quite identify. Ooh, smaller than usual glass bottle stopper. Not the smallest I found, but the smallest of this shape. Oh, broken. Never mind. Just about to run out of battery, but a bit of pipe bowl and a button. And unfortunately I'd forgotten to charge my spare battery, so that's sadly all the footage I got from that outing, although I did find a few more things before I left. So time for a little roundup. As always, that beach provided some good river glass, which I've started using in a craft project. Some nice pottery pieces too, which I haven't got around to using yet. I found an unusually small glass bottle stopper, and one which is hollow and still has river water trapped inside it, which is kinda cool. I didn't know if they were made like that. After the battery died, I found another 1.5 glass marbles and 2 clay ones. I found the head of a child figurine, which might be a ridiculous and so quite appealing match for the rather tasteless body. This antler-looking thing turned out to be plastic, a representation of a tree, I think. I'm quite happy that I found something to take along to the possible antiquities scheme find surgery. I'll be taking the antler handle, the pocket knife, probably not this handle, certainly not the bayonet pommel, and unlikely this mysterious thing. They really only seem to want things that could potentially be over 300 years old. Unless anyone tells me otherwise, I don't think it is. Miracles do happen, and finding both the head and the body of this heron was miraculous, even accounting for fluid dynamics and the grouping that happens of things of specific gravity in river systems. They were certainly separated long before they arrived on that beach, and finding them both on the same beach, on the same day, the odds were very much against it. I still don't know how, or even if I shall attempt to fix them together again. There's a few bits of grass broken off as well as the head. They'll have to be reshaped into shorter bits, and there's a lot of grinding and polishing needed, which will require a face mask beyond the ones I currently have. On the way home I spotted this thing in a gutter, a bit of someone's handcrafted jewellery, a brooch perhaps. And back on the beach I found this almost life-sized plastic squirrel. I think it was designed to be attached by screws to a branch, perhaps a garden ornament of sorts. And that, I think, is everything of interest. I had an enjoyable time on the beach, and I hope you've enjoyed this resultant video. As ever, please give it a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, hit the bell icon to enable notifications, comment, share, donate, buy or ignore. Thank you all very much for watching, and for now, goodbye.